fell in the line of duty, brought him home in a box, and the world fell apart. At the funeral home, she asked to spend one last night sleeping by her husband's side before she fell apart. I asked her if I should stay. She said he'd want it that way. So I'll stand through the night. I'll be here in the morning light when your world's falling apart. I'll be watching over you. He's in her memories, but his child will never see the hero he was after his world fell apart. There are no such things as ex-Marines. He'll be my brother till the day I die, when my brother will say, I asked her if I should stay. She said he'd want it that way. Now I stand here all night, watching you through the morning light before your world
Big Blend Radio's Champagne Sunday show with Nancy and Lisa, the mother-daughter travel team and publishers of Big Blend magazines. And you just heard The Marine, and it's from the new album, Mr-Astute-Trousers. I know. It's by 41POINT9, and it features a Northern California rocker duo, bassist, singer, songwriter, producer Bob Madsen, and guitarist, songwriter, and singer Brian Cline. And now all proceeds from their video from the Marine are being donated to the Semper-Fi-Fund. And I encourage you to go to their website. It's 41point9.com, all numbers. So 41point9.com, and also you can get their album on Amazon, all those great places online. But we've got them here with us, Nancy,
cool.
because they don't like to be put in a little box and labeled either. So there it is.
Good.
I know. We are the blend, after all.
That's right.
We've got Bob here. Bob, how are you?
Just fine. How are you doing? Is this Nancy or Lisa?
Good. Glad to have you here. And you've got Brian there with you too?
Hello.
Hey. So do you have your champagne?
Absolutely.
Well, good.
Something similar.
Good.
It may be some sort of shot.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hello.
Well, I don't know. One of our Big Blend radio experts just sent us 2 dinkies of moonshine, and they're little dinky mason jars. How does that go?
Sounds kind of dangerous. It sounds like fun.
I know it is a little dangerous. I just looked at it. I'm battling this flu thing. And I thought, well, if I take a shot at that, it might fix me. But I'm scared. I'm scared.
Well, yeah, it's medicinal purposes, right?
Yeah,
that's what it's used for.
Yes.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
Now listen, I love this. I love your album, and to me, it should be a rock opera. Nancy, right?
Exactly.
That's it. You have so much in there, and you take people on this journey. It's like if you love Queen and if you love, David Gilmour, David Bowie, if you like Metallica, everybody's in there. And I love the fact that you're like, no, we're not, a prog rock band, right? You're saying that you need to be progressive as a band, and be progressive on top of being progressive rock. Am I getting that straight?
Well, I think one of our points is I guess we define progressive differently. To us, progressive, we're mixing genres, and we're just trying to be artistic, and wherever that goes is where it goes. We have a lot of, traditional progressive influences, but, if you recreate, if you're just recreating what some great bands did in the 70s, is that really progressive? I mean, we're trying to be the next generation of that.
Yeah. Shouldn't progressive music progress?
Shouldn't it progress?
It should. I know. I was reading that on your website. I was like, yeah,
Absolutely.
It should. And I love it because to me, you're just listening to a song and going, ooh, do I like it? Does it feel good with me? Do you want to listen to it again? But to me, I just really enjoyed the whole album. But I do think it'd be really cool. I love that you're doing videos because I think it would be cool, like, to do this as a, Nancy's always talking about getting bands. You should just open like a rock opera cafe or something.
I just really think we need a new rock opera. We really, really do.
Yeah, so go do it.
We're on it.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's 2 albums from now. We actually have the next album in mind, and then another album after that is actually a concept album, and we're in the process of beginning the writing stages of that concept album now. But it's going to be a couple years before it's out.
I love this because I think, there's just, the songs on here, and it's fun. I have something I have to play halfway through here in this conversation, okay? We have to play Tilting at Windmills because I may have to go get the moonshine halfway through, and you know what I'm talking about. We have to play this. We have to play this partway through our discussion. But okay, so I want to go back to the Marine. Tell us about the Semper-Fi-Fund and what inspired you to connect with them and donate the proceeds from the video.
Well, the video and the song are written about a true-to-life event. They were inspired by a Pulitzer Prize-winning photo essay from the Colorado Times, where a gentleman was following what happens when Marines who are, or service members who are deceased overseas, killed in the line of duty, are brought back home. What happens? How is that whole process handled, et cetera? in this particular case, he followed the story of one gentleman who was killed in action in Afghanistan, and when he was brought home to his then pregnant wife with their first child, it told the story of how this one Marine sergeant was assigned to this family and to try and help them. And what got me was a picture on the internet. And the story behind the picture was, when they brought the casket into the funeral home, they got it set up. The wife asked to sleep one last time by her husband's side. And at first, the funeral director didn't really want to do this, but then, as I understand it, a couple of really big, burly Marines convinced him otherwise. And so, you know what I mean.
The burly boys, yes. You will.
Yeah. So the Marines went out and got an air mattress, got her set up with a little, bed next to the casket. And as the last Marine was filing out of the chapel, he turned back to see the wife quietly crying on the bed. She had headphones on. She was listening to a playlist of some of their favorite songs. And this gentleman turned around, went back into the chapel, went back to her, and asked her, "Would you like me to stay?" And her husband's nickname was Cat, and her response was, "Yeah, I think Cat would like that." Wow. So this man went back up on the dais, stood next to the casket, and stood at attention. Wow. And when she woke the next morning, he was still there, standing at attention. Wow. That kind of selflessness, sacrifice, attention to duty,
commitment,
the commitment to duty, just really struck us. Each of us have family members who are in one branch of the military or another, and we wanted to do something that would honor that level of commitment, that level of sacrifice. And so we wrote the song. And then when we came up with the idea for the video, it just felt right to be able to donate the video proceeds to a fund that goes to help those coming home that and actually the Semper-Fi-Fund is an amazing organization that helps not only Marines but all service members, that have been injured overseas or in action, and their families, and it helps them move on with their lives. It helps them get reacclimated, therapy, assistance in whatever form necessary. They really come, they step up to the line and they do what's necessary to help these people. And unfortunately, our government is not doing enough to help these people, so we have to have private organizations like the Semper-Fi-Fund do it. And they
the government just likes to push. That's why there are nonprofits, because they don't want to do it. They just dish it on to everybody else. Sorry. Oops.
Yeah, exactly. And so we reached out to a couple of different organizations, but the Semper-Fi-Fund really kind of rose to the top as being the one most worthy of us helping. So that's what we did.
That's awesome.
So
I think the story is moving, and in the music, because the way it flows, there's a tenderness, and then there's that feeling of turmoil of when you lose somebody. And then also that feeling, okay, now I'm going to stand to my commitment, because you have to boost yourself to do it. When you think about all the men and women who serve and do it and just commit and take on those tasks, internally they may not show it. You always think about, look at I was going to say the dudes outside the Buckingham Palace that don't move if you go poke their nose or whatever.
Right.
Inside, they're going like, get off my nose, stop picking my nose.
Just so
Sorry, life of Brian.
Totally.
But there's just this incredible sense of duty that they fulfill. And inside, there's stuff going on. Like, how am I going to, there's like all of that happens. And I think, what you've done with the song is show it from all sides, from, the family, the wife, this whole side of it. And I love that the Semper-Fi-Fund also helps the families. And I think that's so important because they go through a lot, when a loved one is out to war. They go through so much.
I like to think that it's not only the service member that serves, it's the service member's family that serves.
Yeah, exactly. And I think these organizations, in finding the right one too, because there's ones that aren't so cool, but the Semper-Fi-Fund, I actually have heard of them. I first heard of them when we did a show in a it was at the American Legion in Julian, and all these different organizations were there. It was a 4th of July weekend, and they literally built us our own radio studio so that we wouldn't hear all the bands outside and everything in this American Legion, and they kept bringing us cocktails, but
it was fun.
There were veterans from World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, and current, and it was probably, to this day, I still my heart just, you want to be strong, but at the same time, your heart is just like, man, these men and women go through so much. And when they come home, the one thing we can do is stand up, whatever your political beliefs are. Who cares? These people went out and fulfilled a duty for you. And we've got to do everything we can. So I really appreciate what you've done with the song, because the song, not only are you raising funds, but you're creating attention. That is
well,
necessary.
That was the point. That was the idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the fact that you connected with it, and the fact that it told you a story, I really got to lay that at Brian's feet, because the way he sang this thing, and he put himself in those shoes, and it really comes across that way. And to this day, it is one of my favorite of his performances.
It's one of my favorite of our songs, and also Bob's lyrics. I have to give it up to the lyrics. I'm the melody guy and the delivery guy, but it's still, of all the songs we play, it just the song just kills me every time. Even hearing it on the speakerphone, it does get to me, and that I give out to Bob. So
we have a mutual respect society going over here.
Yeah.
Well, I heard that you have a bromance. Do you guys bicker?
We're gonna need some bromance time. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
our
I'm gonna
wives
send you some moonshine for your bromance time.
Oh, that's funny.
There you go. All right.
Well, it's when you work closely, like Lisa and I, being mother-daughter, and so many people always say, how I could never work with my mother, or I could never work with my daughter. And we're like, yeah, we get that.
Well, we do. We do have our bicker sessions. Sometimes they're very loud, and there's creative, colorful sentences. I just said sentences. I didn't tell everybody about our language.
Well, I keep always saying.
Do we need to do this right now?
Yeah. You could always do it better.
Well, what I always say is Brian is the brother I never wanted.
Oh, wow, Brian. Wow.
And for us, where the sparks fly is really in the songwriting, and what he refers to as the lyrical evisceration. And it's because he's the primary songwriter along with Kenny Steele. I do the vocal melodies. I add guitar parts. But usually they present a song to me with the lyrics, and that's when the sparks fly, because usually the words, it's like, dude, this is like 5 times the amount of words I need. And so I end up doing the quote lyrical evisceration, and it gets pretty heated.
Yeah, the thing is, I work and I slave and I sweat, I labor over these carefully crafted, beautiful stanzas, and then this guy comes in with a blowtorch and a wrecking ball.
Right, exactly.
Because it doesn't fit.
This whole section we don't need. I'm going to use this one over here.
Yeah,
I'm going
cut
to
this movement over here.
Cut the babies. You're the baby cutter.
Yeah, see.
Exactly.
And you have to kill the babies because they get in the way.
Oh, God. I'm getting the moonshine.
Bob's retribution to that, which is always really cool, actually. The Marine is a good example of that. He'll take bits and pieces from the song and move them around. And so when I hear, sort of the mixed version, it's like, oh, wow, I didn't put that there. That's kind of cool, though. All right.
Whoever wields the mouse gets revenge.
Oh.
If you think of like, okay, Lisa and I go through this all the time. She uses way more words than I do, and I'm like, just get to the friggin' point, okay? And she's like, no, la la la.
No, but you use a lot of words too. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
All right, ladies.
You do.
All right, ladies. No blood.
I don't know if I don't know if you guys were planning on playing "Don't Cut Down the Rose." It's fine if you are, if you're not. But there's a fantastic story of the songwriting process, and with regards to that song, that I'd be happy to share.
Go. We could play that. You know what? It's again. This is I get excited when. Number one, I love new music coming in and new music that's really good, and that you can listen to and immediately get into, and then go, oh, I didn't expect it to go there. Mm-hmm. And then just when you get comfortable, it goes, oh, no, I'm taking you here now. Mm-hmm. And that's what you do. And I really appreciate that, because it's like, this is like Disneyland, man. It's like you get on a ride and they bill it this way, and then it's like, no, we're going to take you on this curve. Yeah, it's cool.
Yep.
It's a really cool album. I love the bonus tracks, and now the lock with the Celtic side of it. You got bagpipes and the amazing strings in there. I feel like that song is a very healing song. I can't explain it for me. It just seems like something that heals. You would go to heal from something.
That actually was the intent of the song, believe it or not. It was meant to describe a scenario that I was in the process of healing from. That song actually goes back.
Sense of breakup.
Oh.
Yeah. That song actually goes back 20
years.
Yeah, 25 years. It was the very first song that Brian and I worked on.
That's where the bromance started.
Yeah, with that song. And that's why we included it on this as a bonus track, was sort of to show the fans, this is where we started. And this is where it got really warped and strange, and this is where it ended up with, Mr-Astute-Trousers.
But we have no idea, and we're continuing to work on stuff. And I guess our litmus test for what's coming down the pike is,
have we done it before?
Have we done it before? So we don't want to repeat ourselves. So as cool as the lock is, there's a whole, who knows what's next, and it could be totally different. Yeah. It will be totally different.
Right now, we are experimenting with polka and
speed polka. Yes, polka. Actually.
Yes, speed polka. Yeah. And reggae mariachi. Yeah.
On kazoo.
Oh, I'm so
kazoo.
in. I'm in. You got to keep us posted. No, listen. This is the thing.
It's like an amusement park.
But here, this whole thing, I have to use #ProgRock on Instagram and Twitter and all those things where you're coming on. And, you have to. It's the marketing thing, and I love being able to do these conversations, have these conversations, because I want people to understand. Like, you can branch out, you can do anything. Music is creativity. You're supposed to color over the lines. You're supposed to throw all the babies in there and then toss them out.
That's right. Mix them up, scramble them, and then
anybody
take them
just
out.
tuning into this are going to be
They're
like horrified.
Have no idea, right? What's that heck?
You cover so much in this, and there is a balance to it. And so when I say this is like going to music part of music, it's like, the Disneyland of it. I mean that you're taking us on an adventure and a journey, and you're taking us through all kinds of emotions. You're taking us through all kinds of styles, but you have a flow to the album. And then this is where to me is crucial, is that it's not like you're a good driver, because a good driver can take you on the highest mountaintop and on the highest, windiest roads, and then take you through traffic, and you don't feel like you're jolting anywhere, even though you're going through some crazy landscape, some beautiful landscape at one point. So when you talk about that journey, you guys do it with this flow, and I have no clue how you do it, but it's badass. It really is to be able to do it.
It's an amusement park because every ride is its own little thing.
But it flows to the next song, and that's a talent, man. I always look for that in music. Is, am I comfortable, but I can still be cozy, but being put into different perspectives and different places. So that's really cool. That road trip.
Thank you. Well, we actually kind of liken it to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
See?
Oh, I love that ride. I just put my age out there, but
okay.
Do they even still have it?
And the reason for that is simply that we get bored very, very easily. We have musical ADD.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and if we're doing something for this, too many times, it's like, oh, come on, we got to do something different here. Let's throw in some accordion or something.
So you need the toad to pop up from a mushroom and go ribbit
Well,
every 10 seconds.
but here it is. But accordions play. Okay, so like our background and for me, I grew up in different countries in Africa, and the music you hear there comes back here. So it's really interesting living here in Tucson on the border, and you go into like West Texas and stuff. Now you can start getting the papa music, and if you drive through Texas, go through those channels, and you will get the norteño music.
Yeah.
So you're going to get this, and I love it because it takes me back to South Africa where they have this. So they call them the saki Joel. It's like a two-step party, I suppose.
It's a polka.
Yeah, and so, but it's not done with an accordion. It's a little concertina. And so it's kind of like that with bluegrass, yet you will still go around the corner and have reggae. Like there's like, it's to me bizarre how world music, it does fuse together. And so you'll hear accordions and concertinas and Portuguese music, French music. You'll hear it in everything and in African music. And it's done in this really cool way, that expands your mind. So I'm when you start playing polkas and reggaes and put that out, I want to know.
Well, interesting point. One of my favorite songwriters and a big influence on me is Johnny Clegg.
Oh yeah, Johnny Clegg, dude.
South African. There you go.
One of our favorite people in life that I went to school with is a sax player and keyboard player.
Oh
Brandon.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. You got to go look him up. Yeah, Brandon
he's
Ross.
amazing. Okay, all right, I will. Yeah, Johnny is, or Mr. Clegg is absolutely amazing. It's unfortunate that I missed his last tour.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I wish him all the best. As I understand, his son is now doing some really good stuff.
He is. I've heard some things. Cool. It's kind of like Ry Cooder. How Ry Cooder's son got on board with him. It's like, oh man, you see, like Ry Cooder's a dude. He balanced that out. He brought roots music together. I just don't understand why him and Taj Mahal can't play together anymore. That just sucks. I like those two to play together. But, whatever.
I have a friend who plays the band called Garage Mahal.
We didn't hear you. Say that again?
I have a friend who plays in a band called Garage Mahal.
Oh.
Mahal.
It's Garage Mahal, yeah.
Anyway. Garage Mahal. So are they a garage band?
No. There are a number of, Trilak Surtu, Kai Eckhart de Camarga, some of the big world music and jazz fusion players, and it's a really an amazing band. But anyway, so what?
I'm going to check them out. Well, listen, real quick, I do want to say, talk about jazz. That Familiar Strangers is one of my favorites on there. You do have some jazz.
Thank you. That was the second song that Brian and I worked on.
Right, that was also from that.
Was that about the two of you? Because I wondered about that when I was listening.
No, actually, that was it's pretty funny. That song was written about a friend of mine that was my best friend growing up that died in an unfortunate accident at the age of 20. And when we had parted ways for a year or two before that event, and when I went to the funeral, I had one picture in my mind of how I remembered this man, and when I went to the funeral, there was a different man in the casket. It was, so he was essentially a familiar stranger.
Yeah. Wow.
And so.
Wow, you guys are deep. You run deep. Okay. So we're going to do Tilting at Windmills because we must. And I didn't write this, but I dedicate this to Steve Schneikert, our Hollywood historian, and to Nancy. No, you're going to love this.
It's not the twinkle in your eye, it's the tilt in your kilt.
No, that would be the lock, and it's big. No. Sorry. Okay, here it is. Tilting at Windmills. Hang tight, guys. We'll bring you back on, and we'll continue the conversation. And we still want to know about the rose, right? So
all right,
I'll
tell you the story.
I'm not forgetting that. I promise. I know I have moonshine, but it's time to tilt at the windmill. Here it is. Tilting at Windmills, everyone. And we still want to talk to you about your band name, too. You can go to 41POINT9.com. Here it is.
And now, before the next show starts, let's enjoy an intermission.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Show.
You're listening to Big Blend Radio with Nancy and Lisa, and you just heard Tilting at Windmills. It's on the brand new album by 41POINT9. It's called Mr-Astute-Trousers. You better put that little crease in your trousers, even your jeans, man. Okay, so check it out. Go to 41point9.com. I would like some popcorn, guys. We got Brian and Bob here. Why do I want to call you Bill and Ted, and we're going to go to Bill Jason's journey?
Not too far off.
No, it's kind of
be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, really. And we're playing Wayne's World right now.
So being the lead singer and you just played an instrumental, I feel like I need to be able to talk about that song, even though I was not involved at all, except for the sound effects. So the great thing about that song is that it leaves Bob from not doing all the solos when I'm trying to sing. So just get it all out. Go wank. Do what you got to do, and then please don't
all
do that
in
in the
left
other
hand.
But
that's insane bass playing. Seriously, that's some insane.
This is road trip music.
Yeah, but it's also like you feel like you're in a high-speed chase. You could be running Rocky up the steps, and then all of a sudden you stop and look out, and you've got an ocean view. You know, so you have a little reggae sneaking in and a little jazz and high-speed chases all in the same day, and Rocky.
Right. It's a film score.
Yeah, totally. You guys really need
funny,
to write for film.
What's really funny about that song is it's a song that Brian rejected. We're going to put lyrics to it.
I was like, pass.
Yeah, it's like, no, I don't like it. You know, so cool, then I get to play with it.
It's now an instrumental. All right.
And he was playing.
We kind of went crazy.
Well,
so myself and
I could see
our new guitar
to
player.
this.
Well, okay. There's a road out in Southern California, and you go through the wind farm.
Yeah.
And we always pick music to drive through on the highway, Interstate 10, and you're getting into Joshua Tree area, and you got the windmills, and there's something weird. I know we just did a whole thing on energy, but the windmills are weird. That's when I know that we're going to connect with alien life. Is through these windmills. They're bizarre. And when you drive through them, like often we'll put like Pink Floyd on or something like that. But now I'm thinking I've got truly my new windmill song. Those, I know they're. You know what I mean? That's bizarre.
Yeah,
what is?
Totally surreal. Yep.
Yeah. So the joke on that song is we have a lot of inside jokes in almost all of our songs, and little things that we like to sneak in there. But that one, the full name for that song actually is Tilting at Windmills, and then in parentheses, Mr. Flippity Flappity Rides Again. Okay, and the joke, of course, is tilting at windmills is a useless exercise. I mean, think about the Man of La Mancha, right?
Right.
And so it's sort of a delusional exercise. So this perfectly fits with this song. But I'm also known, because of the way I play bass, I'm also known as Mr. Flippity Flappity, because my bass parts are just these really flippity flappity, things going on bass that's designed to annoy guitar players.
Yes.
And
especially singers.
And singers too.
Yeah.
And so this was my opportunity to get out and stretch some
to flip and fly.
Yeah.
Flip, flap, and fly.
Like, that is kind of
flip,
weird.
flap.
Yeah.
What's that song?
In the back
Flip,
when you're
flap,
done.
fly.
Yeah. So I get it out of my system, and then I can, sort of breathe a big sigh of relief, and then go on and do the rest of the set.
Yep.
Oh my gosh! You know what? I'm sorry that now that you said that, it's really bizarre because I've watched your videos. So now I have you in cartoon pictures. I'm sorry, but I have this thing. You've got floppity ears, the whole thing. I'm sorry, that's weird. You should never have told me, because now I see you outside a windmill and your ears are going up and down. It's like Semper. Sorry, but you just changed your picture for me.
That's pretty much it.
Wow. Okay, well, enjoy that, guys. Okay, so 41.9. Tell me about this. Is this a radio station? Where's that number come from? Is it a gun? I didn't know.
Okay, so everyone in the band is just complete nerds. Okay, we know
really?
this.
You guys are smart.
We're one
cerebrally smart.
Okay?
You're clever.
Yeah. So it actually is a reference to a Douglas Adams book, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay.
And in that book,
wow. Duh.
It's in the second book in the series, second or third book in the series. It's called.
I think it's the third one.
Is it the third?
Yeah.
And what we find out is that the meaning of the answer to the meaning of life, the universe.
The answer to the question of the meaning of life and the
universe
and
and everything, right?
is the number 42.
Right. And so we're not quite the answer to everything, but we're really, really close.
And our first album was entitled "Still Looking for Answers," so
it kind of made sense.
Yeah.
And you will meet Brian from the Life of Brian. He gets to be part of it too.
Yes. Yeah. I'm Brian.
And
you
so,
know,
his favorite number will be 42.
And all I yeah.
Exactly. So we make sure that we embed a lot of different jokes and inside references. And the first album was just full of that kind of stuff. The second album has a lot of it in there as well, and it's just part of who we are. We don't take ourselves
You're cracking me up. We're both laughing here, and we're like, okay, get another bottle because this is fun.
No, but you need to
bartender.
There's a really, really good game for you guys. It's called Layla.
Oh yeah, you should play that.
And it's a numerology game.
You
and
should do
will
it.
freak you out.
Yeah, you need to do it.
L-E-I-L-A, and it's a board
Leela.
game. Layla.
Yeah.
And
okay.
it's all based on numbers.
And it's weird.
It's really weird.
No matter what you do, it's bizarre. You need to play it. It's enjoy enlightening refreshments while you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Right.
It'll take you to another place. Now, okay, Mr-Astute-Trousers. Seriously, it made me
What's up with that?
Okay, yeah, and I want to know.
Smarty Pants.
Yeah, that, and then also
that's it.
Mr. Smarty Pants.
Smarty
Pretty
Pants.
simple.
But astute. That
And
word
that-
astute. I feel like. Do any of you iron a crease down the front of your? Who
We
irons?
can barely dress ourselves.
Yeah, it's actually
no.
kind of rare that we ever actually wear pants in the first place.
Okay.
Oh,
We're still working on it.
We're
we're a little slow learning.
Our wives tie our shoes for us to make sure that we actually don't forget to wear pants when we leave the house and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
that's funny.
but
You
as
do
you can
have
tell,
a tilt in your kilt.
No,
Exactly.
that's in their windmill. Sorry.
So you can tell from talking to us that we are a bunch of smartasses. So it really made sense that the album would be named Mr-Astute-Trousers.
And Bob pulled in the cover art for the CD is Bob with a paintbrush.
Yeah, actually, that's funny.
He did the cover by himself.
First time I've painted in probably like 20 years, but I decided that it was too cheap to pay somebody else to do the cover, so I did it myself.
Yeah, why not?
And hey, listen, what's up with this Confessions at Midnight? How do your wives feel about that?
They're actually really okay with it, and it's kind of a funny story that I'll give you the PG-13 version of this. Essentially, that song was written originally out of a joke between Kenny Steele, who is the other songwriting partner on these two albums. Unfortunately, Kenny's no longer in the band, but at that point, we were kind of joking that we never hear progressive rock in, let's just say, a gentleman's club. Okay?
Yeah.
And
do you expect burlesque or
burlesque? You never hear progressive rock in a gentleman's club. And we started laughing because we
and not
figured
burlesque
that it
either, but it's slutty music.
I have a problem with it.
Progressive rock is not slutty music.
The whole idea of
exactly.
calling something gentleman's club.
That's hysterical right there.
Just
so
just like, hello.
But here's the point.
I'm going
we
to
were
this
trying
adult
to be
club.
PG-13.
We're trying to be
why are
PG-13.
they always next to family restaurants? What's with that?
Macaroni is cheap.
Hey, girls got to eat. Anyway, what we thought was the true reason was more than likely that the poor dancers couldn't get one tassel going in 3/4 and another tassel in 5/8. If they tried to do that, it'd be dangerous.
Yeah,
and,
you could get hurt.
They could end up in a
only
hospital.
You can only do it if you use your hands. And I know this because we used to have a client who was a belly dancing teacher, and they did everything in 5/4.
Very good.
Yeah.
So she would be perfect for this.
Belly dancers can do it.
Belly dancing people can do it, but you have to use a hand in order to do what you just said.
This is where your right boob and your left boob need to split and come together.
Exactly.
It's just like your right and your left brain, right?
Yeah.
It's ambidextrous boob.
Ambidextrous.
Ambidextrous.
Oh
that would be ambidextrous. So
wow, you guys.
We thought that would be really, really funny, and so we ended up writing
I'm going to go try it now. Now it's like a whole new thing.
This is how the girls make change with the coins they wear on their dresses.
But this could totally change. I mean, can you see Jane Fonda doing this as an exercise routine?
Oh, I don't want to even think about that.
I know, but I just thought I'd bring it up.
I don't really want to think about that either. No. But I mean, here's the thing. The funny part about this is it turned into a really nice little song, and then afterwards we did the video, which features a very, very talented burlesque troupe in our area called Truth or Dare Burlesque, and the lead singer, the lady that played the lead role in this is also our background vocalist, and not only is she tremendous,
she's really good.
Yeah, well, this was actually her first time doing this. She's also a brilliant musician. I mean, she has a master's degree in music. She can score for orchestra. She writes incredible music on her own, and she did all of our background vocals.
Yeah, most of our backups
for her. Yeah. And we were able to just send her stuff. She would do it in her own studio and send it back, and it was brilliant. And I cannot speak highly enough of her. She's really an amazing, amazing young woman. But after this was all done, it kind of turned out better than we thought. And we ended up getting accepted into a music service that services the gentleman club industry. So thanks to 41.9, you can now hear prog in a booby bar.
And have mac and cheese at the same time.
Yeah.
See if you can chew it.
Yeah.
Okay, don't cut down the rows. I don't want to forget about that. So tell us about that, because I love that. It's actually one of my favorites.
Just another story around the songwriting process. So Bob and I, Bob has the real studio. I have a working studio. So our usual methodology here would be, he's got a rough mix, initial tracks, things like that, sending them over to me. I'm getting inspired, doing my vocals, sending them back to him. And so I was super happy, super proud of what I came up with for Don't Cut Down the Rows, sent it back to him, and then kind of went on a hiatus for a while. We weren't really working together for about 6 months after that while he was doing a bunch of other stuff. He brings somebody in, another talented musician, doing all the background vocals based on all my lead vocals. And then towards the end, when we're listening, he's getting like rough mixes together, and he plays the thing back to me. I just about fell off my chair because there was some sort of synchronization issue between my studio and his studio, where everything was like
a bar and a half off.
A bar, yeah, a solid measure off.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and this is where it gets just horrifying, is he had been listening to it for the last 6 months in the wrong position.
And I thought it was right.
And he liked it. And I'm like, dude, no, that's not, no. And so he and the sparks flew, man. We just had it out. And I was trying to be as open-minded as possible, being that I had written it a different way than it was coming back. And I absolutely put my foot down on the verses and the pre-choruses and like, dude, no, you got to put them back the way I had them. But on the choruses, I'm like, I kind of like it. So the choruses are a complete mistake.
Yeah.
And the thing that's crazy about it is, and I'm thinking, well, now the backgrounds are going to be all wrong and all of this stuff, because there's also backgrounds on the other portion of the song that was in the wrong place that now is in the right place, and but it worked.
I love stuff like that.
I have to say that
that's how we've been running our business for over 20 years.
Yeah, I know. This reminds me, we had a cat named Athena, who was the goddess of all things wise and wonderful. And,
which I inherited from
yes.
our bass player.
And she's a calico cat, and she
Don't date the
would
bass
come
player.
into a room while we're having our discussions, shall we call it, and she'd watch us both, and then she'd just get up, flick her tail, walk out of the room like you're a couple of you-know-what.
Or she would look at us. She'd come in, you would have a discussion about stuff. She would look at us, sit, and give us this look like you're so stupid.
Yeah.
And then whoever she flicked the tail at, we knew you lost.
You lost. And she'd walk out the room.
That's how she did it.
Wow. She
Man.
was essentially the feline arbiter.
Yeah,
Right.
she was. She would just look at us, and then her brother Morris, named after Jim Morrison, would come in and just go, "Oh, you know, I love it all. Just so long as you feed me again, because I'm, you know, that's all I do is eat." But anyway, guys, champagne toast time, because we gotta keep our time here so that we can play another song. And God, I wish next time we'll just sit and play the album and have like the story of each song. It's so cool. You guys are a blast. But what is your champagne toast from each
Our
of you?
champagne toast. Okay, our champagne toast goes out to Kenny Steele. Kenny Steele was our songwriting partner for the first two albums. He is an incredibly talented musician, multi-instrumentalist, and he recently had to back out of the band in order to keep up his teaching career. He is one of the most popular and well-respected music instructors in Nevada County, California, and his devotion to the kids is just something it's mind-boggling. He's had generations that have gone through his teaching school, and every single one of them comes out of there not only a better musician, but a better person as a result. We are extremely grateful for his contributions, and we just want to give a shout out to Kenny and say,
Steele.
Here's to you, Ken.
Nice. I like it.
Nice. We love that. And we will play "Don't Cut Down the Rose." If you answer this question really fast, because we have to play "Don't Cut Down the Rose" now.
All right.
All right. You guys going to tour next year? Is that going to happen?
Oh, that's a big question.
You really know how to stir the pot.
Yeah. Okay. We both would love to tour. We are sort of assessing feasibility at this point. So we to be determined, but we think it would be wonderful.
Yeah, one of the problems we're having is finding a good drummer. Every drummer that we get spontaneously combusts.
They do blow up.
Yeah,
it's a Spinal Tap thing.
Yeah,
so
we understand.
Yeah, we have a band, and the
drummer was the biggest problem in our band.
Always.
Yeah. And what the
no
problem
offense
was,
to drummers, it just is.
We were using the same talent agency as Spinal Tap, so that's the problem.
Well, good luck with that. Good luck. Maybe change that. Maybe change that. You're gonna have to change your hair too.
Another big challenge is what makes this so much fun and artistic is literally the no holds barred, wherever this thing leads from a studio and writing standpoint. It's not four guys in a room with their instruments where you press record, that's the album, and it would be very difficult to translate what we do to a live situation.
Yeah, like ABBA. Look what ABBA does.
Yeah, not
you know
to
what
say
I mean?
we can't do it, but what makes this so much fun and artistic is the studio work. So it's really two completely different things. But we're looking into it, and it would be wonderful if we find that we have enough support to really make this worth doing. So
right on, guys. We gotta run because we want to play "Don't Cut Down the Rose." So everybody, 41.9.com is the website to go to. Type in the numbers, and we want to thank everyone for joining us here on Big Blend Radio. Keep up with our shows at bigblendradio.com. And here it is. "Don't Cut Down the Rose" from Mr-Astute-Trousers. No, it's not me. Sorry, I just had to change that. But anyway, here it is. "Don't Cut Down the Rose." Go get it. And thank you all. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Here it is. Enjoy. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
stood for many things. Love between friends, the kind that never ends. It stood as a symbol of lasting unity, a link between two people like you and me. Pray for me, I've wandered way too far. Say to me, I'm your friend, no matter where you Will these white roses stand for our demise? From romance to friends, too late to make amends. Strangers in a street cafe, silence fills the air. Awkward moments, once filled with care. Lie to me, tell me that you'll always be here. Cry to me, turn around, and I'm right here. Don't cut down the road, the last symbol of you and me. Don't cut down the road, petals drifting on the wind. Don't cut down the road, why did you leave me so lonely? Don't cut down the road, all I have left at the journey's end. At the journey's end. Your bag's by the door, the memory still burns. Couldn't make you stay, not even for a day. A rose in a vase, the door set behind. I watched it fall, and we were lost. Pray for me, I've wandered way too far. Say to me, I'm your friend, no matter where you are. Don't cut down in our favorite cafe. Lights